Picture this. You're standing at the edge of something massive, something that could absolutely transform your entire existence. Your heart is pounding. Your palms are sweating. Every nerve in your body is screaming at you. But here's the brutal truth most people won't tell you. That scream, that voice telling you to stop, to turn back, to play it safe. That's not wisdom. That's not experience. That's not protection. That's fear. And it's destroying your future. Donald Trump once said something that cuts through all the noise, all the excuses, all the comfortable lies we tell ourselves. Don't let fear of failure be greater than the excitement of success. 10 words. 10 explosive words that separate champions from spectators, winners from what-ifs, legends from the forgotten masses. Today we're going to dissect this philosophy. We're going to rip apart the psychology behind it. And by the end, you're going to understand exactly why this mindset is the difference between the life you're living and the life you're capable of living. Let's get visceral here. Let's talk about what fear actually does to you. Fear doesn't just whisper, it screams, it claws, it suffocates every dream, every ambition, every burning desire you've ever had. Fear is a predator, and you are its prey. Think about the last time you wanted something badly. I mean desperately. Maybe it was starting that business that keeps you awake at 3 a.m., asking out that person who makes your heart race, quitting that soul-crushing job that's draining your life force, moving to that city where your dreams are waiting, investing in that opportunity that could explode your wealth. What stopped you? Be honest. Brutally honest. It wasn't lack of time, it wasn't lack of resources, it wasn't bad timing, it was fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of judgment, fear of loss, fear of the unknown. And here's the devastating part. That fear, it's paralyzing you right now, in this very moment. There's something you want to do, someone you want to become, some place you want to reach. And fear is holding you hostage. Research shows that 70% of people regret not taking risks more than they regret the risks they took. Let that penetrate your consciousness. 70%. That means the majority of humanity reaches the end of their journey drowning in regret, haunted by what-ifs, tormented by the ghost of their unlived potential. The graveyard is the richest place on earth. You know why? Because it's packed with unwritten novels that would have inspired millions. Unstarted businesses that would have revolutionized industries. Unspoken words that would have healed relationships. Untaken chances that would have altered destinies, all murdered by fear, all sacrificed at the altar of safety, all buried beneath the crushing weight of, what if I fail? But here's what nobody tells you about failure. Failure is temporary. Regret is eternal. You can recover from failure, you can learn from it, grow from it, build from it, transform it into fuel. Failure is just data. It's just feedback. It's just the universe saying, try a different approach. But regret. Regret is a poison that seeps into your soul. It rots you from the inside. It turns your thoughts bitter and your memories painful. Regret doesn't fade. It intensifies. 20 years from now, you won't remember the failed business attempt, but you'll obsess over the business you never started. You won't agonize over the rejection you received. You'll be haunted by the question you never asked. Fear makes you small. It shrinks your world. It contracts your possibilities. When you let fear dictate your decisions, you're not making choices. You're making escapes. You're not building a life. You're building a prison. A comfortable, familiar, suffocating prison where dreams go to die. And the most insidious part, fear disguises itself as logic, as reason, as practicality. Fear says, be realistic. Fear says, wait for the perfect moment. Fear says, you're not ready yet. Fear says, what will people think? Fear says, you might lose everything. Now let's talk about the other side of this equation. The side that fear desperately doesn't want you to focus on. The excitement of success, not just success itself. The excitement, the electricity, the intoxicating possibility of achievement. Close your eyes for a moment. Actually feel this. Imagine your dream has already materialized. You did it. You conquered it. You became that person. You built that empire. You achieved that impossible goal. How does that feel? Can you feel that surge of energy? That explosion of pride? That overwhelming sense of I actually did it? That feeling that's not fantasy, that's potential reality. But here's what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. It's not just believing success is possible. It's letting the excitement of that possibility become more powerful than the fear of failure. Think about Trump for a moment. Love him or hate him, irrelevant. Study his psychology. This is a man who's been bankrupt, been mocked, been criticized by millions, failed publicly, spectacularly, multiple times, and yet he kept building. Why? Because his excitement about what he could create was stronger than his fear of falling. His vision of the empire was more vivid than his memory of the failures. His hunger for success was more intense than his fear of failure. Let me paint you a picture of what happens when excitement dominates fear. Meet Sarah, 32 years old, stuck in a corporate job that was draining her soul. She had an idea for a sustainable fashion brand. For 3 years, fear kept her paralyzed. What if nobody buys it? What if I lose my savings? What if people laugh at me? Then something shifted. She stopped focusing on what could go wrong. She started obsessing over what could go right. She imagined her designs being worn by thousands. She visualized the impact she could make. She felt the pride of building something meaningful. That excitement became fuel. She quit her job, launched her brand. First year brutal, struggled, made mistakes. But here's the key. She was alive. She was building. She was growing. 5 years later, 7-figure revenue, featured in major publications, employing 15 people, living a life that makes her leap out of bed every morning. But it almost didn't happen. Fear almost won. Or consider Marcus, a talented musician who spent 15 years playing it safe, teaching, playing at small venues, dreaming of the big stage but terrified of rejection. One day he recorded a video, just him, his guitar, raw talent. His hand hovered over the upload button for 20 minutes. Fear screamed, "You'll be humiliated, you're not good enough, everyone will mock you." But then he felt it, that electric excitement. What if this connects? What if this inspires someone? What if this is my breakthrough? He pressed upload. 30 million views, record deal, world tour, life transformed. All because excitement overpowered fear for just one moment. Here's the scientific truth that will blow your mind. Neurologically, fear and excitement are almost identical. Same increased heart rate, same adrenaline rush, same heightened awareness. The only difference, your interpretation. Your brain can't actually tell the difference between fear and excitement. You choose which one it is. That nervous feeling before taking a risk. That's not a stop sign. That's not your body saying danger. That's your body saying something important is happening. You can interpret it as fear. I'm terrified. This might destroy me. Or you can interpret it as excitement. I'm alive. This could elevate me. Same sensation, opposite outcomes. The most successful people in history, they felt the same nervousness you feel. The same doubt, the same uncertainty. But they reframed it. They transformed it. They let excitement dominate. Think about it. Steve Jobs felt nervous launching the iPhone. He chose excitement. Oprah felt nervous starting her own network. She chose excitement. Elon Musk felt nervous landing rockets vertically. He chose excitement. J.K. Rowling felt nervous submitting her manuscript. She chose excitement. They all felt the fear, they just didn't let it win. Now we need to get tactical. Because understanding this philosophy intellectually means nothing if you can't apply it when it matters. Every major decision in your life is a battlefield, and there are two armies fighting for control. The army of fear versus the army of excitement. The army of fear is loud. It's been training your whole life. It knows all your weaknesses, all your past failures, all your deepest insecurities. It fights dirty. Fear's weapons include worst-case scenario thinking. You'll lose everything. You'll be humiliated. You'll end up homeless. Comparison. Others are more talented, more connected, more prepared. Past failures. Remember last time. Remember how that hurt. Social pressure. Everyone will think you're crazy, irresponsible, delusional, and comfort zone seduction. Stay here, it's safe, it's familiar, why risk it? These weapons are devastating. They've destroyed more dreams than any external obstacle ever could. But here's what you need to understand. These weapons only work if you believe them. They're illusions. Smoke and mirrors, psychological manipulation. The army of excitement fights differently. It fights with vision, with possibility, with truth. Excitement's weapons include best-case scenario visualization. This could be incredible. This could change everything. Unique value focus. I have something special to offer. My perspective. My passion, my persistence. Growth mindset. Every attempt makes me stronger. Every failure teaches me something invaluable. Purpose alignment. This matters to me. This is who I'm meant to become. And future self perspective. My future self will thank me for this courage. These weapons liberate, they empower, they transform. Here's the critical insight. This battle doesn't happen once. It happens constantly, multiple times a day, every time opportunity knocks, every time a risk appears, every time growth demands more from you. And here's the devastating truth. Most people let fear win 99% of these battles. They say yes to fear and no to possibility over and over again and again until it becomes automatic, until fear doesn't even need to fight anymore. It just rules by default. But champions, they train for this battle. They prepare for it. They develop a system for letting excitement win. This is where we get practical, where we take this philosophy and turn it into a weapon you can use every single day. Step 1. Recognize the moment. First, you need to become aware when you're at a decision point. Most people make fear-based decisions unconsciously. They don't even realize they're choosing fear. Ask yourself, am I facing an opportunity right now? Is fear trying to make this decision for me? Heightened awareness is your first defense. Step 2. Name the emotion. Don't just feel it. Identify it. Say it out loud. I'm feeling fear right now. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of loss. You cannot conquer what you don't name. Why does this work? Because naming the emotion creates distance. It transforms I am afraid into I feel afraid. You're not the fear. You're the observer of the fear. Massive difference. Step 3, flip the question. Here's where the magic happens. Instead of asking, what if this fails? Ask, what if this succeeds beyond my wildest dreams? Actually answer this question in detail, with emotion. Paint the picture so vividly that you can taste it. What does your life look like? How do you feel when you wake up? Who are you helping? What have you built? Who have you become? Make the excitement real. Make it tangible. Make it more real than the fear. Step 4. Calculate the actual risk versus the imagined risk. Fear lies. It exaggerates. It catastrophizes. It makes every risk seem lethal. Write down worst realistic outcome, not worst imaginable, worst realistic. Can I recover from this? What safety nets do I have? Have others survived similar failures? 99% of the time, the actual risk is manageable. The imagined risk is apocalyptic. Fear wants you focused on the apocalypse. Excitement focuses you on probability. Step 5. The 10-10-10 rule. Ask yourself, how will I feel about this decision in 10 minutes? How will I feel about this decision in 10 months? How will I feel about this decision in 10 years? In 10 minutes, fear might feel like relief. Excitement might feel terrifying. In 10 months, fear leads to regret. Excitement leads to growth even if the specific outcome wasn't perfect. In 10 years, fear is agonizing regret. Excitement is pride regardless of outcome. This perspective destroys fear's power. Step 6. Take the smallest first step. You don't need to take the giant leap immediately. You just need to move towards excitement and away from fear. Want to start a business? Research one aspect today. Want to ask someone out? Send one text today. Want to change careers? Update your resume today. Want to move cities? Look at one apartment listing today. Momentum destroys paralysis. Action obliterates overthinking. Each small step makes the next step easier. Each victory over fear makes you stronger. Each time excitement wins, it becomes more powerful. Step 7. Build your excitement arsenal. Create a collection of fuel for when fear attacks. Success stories that inspire you. Quotes that ignite you. Music that energizes you. Visualizations that excite you. People who believe in you. When fear attacks, deploy your arsenal. Don't fight fair. Stack the deck in excitement's favor. Surround yourself with reminders of what's possible. With evidence that others have done it. With fuel for your courage. Let me show you this framework in action. Real scenario. You have an opportunity to pitch your idea to potential investors. It's in 2 weeks. Fear is screaming. Step 1, recognize. This is a crucial moment. Fear is trying to make me cancel this. Step 2, name. I'm feeling fear of rejection, fear of being judged as not good enough, fear of my idea being torn apart. Step 3, flip. What if they love it? What if this is the breakthrough? What if I walk out with funding and validation? What if this is the story I tell about the day everything changed? Step 4, calculate. Worst realistic outcome. They say no. I'm in the same position I'm in now. I've learned what questions they ask. I've practiced my pitch. I've gained experience. That's not catastrophic. That's data. Step 5, 10, 10, 10. In 10 minutes after canceling, I'd feel relief. In 10 months, I'd be kicking myself. In 10 years, this would be a defining regret. Step 6. First step. Today I'll practice my pitch for 15 minutes, just that, nothing more. Step 7, arsenal. I'll watch that TED Talk that fires me up. Text my mentor who believes in me. Listen to my hype playlist. Result excitement dominates. You show up, you pitch, you grow. Here's something profound that most people completely miss. Choosing excitement over fear compounds. Every single time you let excitement win, you're not just making one good decision. You're rewiring your brain. You're training your nervous system. You're building your courage muscle. Courage is not something you have. It's something you develop. Think of it like this. The first time you choose excitement over fear, it might take everything you have. It's exhausting, it's terrifying, it requires every ounce of willpower. But the second time, slightly easier. You have proof now. Evidence that you can do it. Evidence that it doesn't destroy you. Third time, even easier. You're building momentum. You're creating a pattern. You're becoming someone who does this. By the 100th time, it's automatic. It's who you are. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. They don't make one giant, courageous decision. They make thousands of small ones. Each one compounds, each one builds, each one transforms. Let me break down the math of courage. Year 1 of choosing excitement. You take 50 fear-dominated actions versus 50 excitement-dominated actions. You grow, you learn, you expand. But slowly. Year 5 of choosing excitement. You take 10 fear-dominated actions versus 90 excitement-dominated actions. You're accelerating. You're building serious momentum. Year 10 of choosing excitement. You take 2 fear-dominated actions versus 98 excitement-dominated actions. You're unstoppable. You're a force. You're unrecognizable from who you were. This is how transformation actually works. Not through one moment of heroism, through thousands of moments of choosing excitement, through daily relentless obsessive commitment to letting possibility be stronger than paralysis. And here's the beautiful part. The results compound even faster than the courage does. Courage compounds linearly. Results compound exponentially. First courage decision might lead to nothing tangible, or a small win. 10th courage decision builds on the previous 9. Bigger win. 100th courage decision. You're playing a completely different game. You have skills, connections, confidence, experience that make huge wins possible. Real example, James Cameron. Early career chose excitement, worked on low-budget films, built skills. Mid-career chose excitement, tackled projects others called impossible. The Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss. Later career chose excitement, pushed technology boundaries. Titanic people said it would bankrupt him. Avatar people said it was too ambitious. Each success built on decades of choosing excitement over fear. But here's what most people don't know. Cameron faced massive failures too. Projects that tanked, relationships that failed, bankruptcies, setbacks. But he never let fear win. He let excitement dominate. Result: he's directed multiple of the highest-grossing films in history, changed cinema forever, built a legacy that will outlive him. That's the power of compound courage. Now I need to get brutal with you, because there's something about playing it safe that nobody wants to admit. Safety is not neutral. Safety is destructive. Let me explain. When you choose safety over risk, you think you're maintaining the status quo. You think you're protecting what you have. You think you're being smart. But you're not maintaining anything. You're deteriorating. 'Cause here's the truth about life. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no neutral. Every day you let fear dictate your decisions, you're not staying the same. You're losing confidence, reinforcing limiting beliefs, shrinking your comfort zone, weakening your courage muscle, building regret, limiting possibilities, becoming more afraid. Safety is a spiral, a downward one. Think about someone who's been in the same job for 20 years, not because they love it, not because it's fulfilling, but because it's safe, because change is scary. What happens to them? Year 1. This is okay, it pays the bills. I'll change things soon. Year 5. I'm comfortable here, maybe I'll make a move next year. Year 10. I've been here so long, I have seniority benefits. It would be stupid to leave now. Year 15. I'm too old to change now, I've invested too much, I'll just stick it out till retirement. Year 20. Where did my life go? I feel dead inside. But it's too late now. This is the price of safety. This is what fear-based living costs you. Not just missed opportunities, not just unrealized potential, but the slow, agonizing death of your spirit, the gradual erosion of your vitality, the systematic destruction of your joy. Safety doesn't preserve your life, it suffocates it. Studies of people at the end of their lives reveal something devastating. The number one regret: I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Not I wish I hadn't taken so many risks. Not I wish I'd been more cautious. Not I wish I'd played it safer. People regret the risks they didn't take, the dreams they didn't pursue, the excitement they didn't choose, because at the end, you don't look back and celebrate the times you played it safe. You don't feel proud of the opportunities you avoided. You don't feel fulfilled by the chances you passed up. You look back and ache for the person you could have been, the life you could have lived, the impact you could have made, and that ache. That's not just sadness, that's torment. That's knowing you had one shot at this life and you spent it hiding. You spent it in fear's prison. You spent it as a spectator to your own potential. Don't let that be your story. We need to destroy the myth of failure, because fear's greatest weapon is the story we tell about what failure means. Let me tell you something that will liberate you. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a component of success. Every successful person has failed extensively. The difference, they didn't let failure define them. They let failure refine them. Thomas Edison. 10,000 failed experiments before the light bulb. Did he fail 10,000 times? No. He found 10,000 ways that don't work. Each failure was data, information, progress. J.K. Rowling rejected by 12 publishers. Was Harry Potter a failure? Obviously not, but it failed 12 times before it succeeded. Those rejections weren't failures. They were the path to the right publisher. Walt Disney fired for lacking imagination. Told he had no creative talent. Went bankrupt multiple times. His first animation studio failed. But those failures were preparation for building an empire. Michael Jordan cut from his high school basketball team. One of the greatest athletes of all time wasn't good enough for his school team. That failure became his fuel. Oprah fired from her first TV job for being unfit for television. Too emotional, too invested, too much. Those same qualities made her a billionaire and one of the most influential people on earth. See the pattern. What looks like failure from the outside is actually training from the inside. It's the universe teaching you, preparing you, forging you. Think of failure like forging steel. You don't create strong steel by keeping it comfortable. You heat it, you hammer it, you subject it to intense pressure and stress. That's what failure does. It forges you. Every failure tests your commitment. Do you really want this? Reveals weaknesses. What do you need to improve? Builds resilience. Can you recover? Provides feedback. What needs adjustment? Strengthens character. Who are you becoming? Failure is not your enemy. It's your trainer. But here's the key insight. Failure only strengthens you if you engage with it. If you let fear interpret failure as "I'm not good enough," then failure weakens you. But if you let excitement interpret failure as "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm getting closer," then failure empowers you. Same event, opposite impact. The difference, your choice. Enough philosophy, enough theory, enough stories about other people. Let's talk about you. Right now, your actual life, your real situation. I want you to do something. Stop and actually think about this. What is the one thing you want to do but fear is stopping you? You know what it is. It's the thing that came to mind the instant you read that question. It's the thing that's been haunting you, following you, waiting for you. Maybe it's starting that creative project, ending that toxic relationship, launching that business, going back to school, moving to a new place, asking for that promotion, taking that trip, having that difficult conversation, pursuing that passion, making that investment. You know what it is. Be honest. Now here's the critical question. What is fear telling you will happen if you do it? Write it down. Actually articulate it. Get specific. I'll fail and everyone will think I'm an idiot. I'll lose all my money and end up broke. They'll reject me and I'll be humiliated. I'll try and discover I'm not good enough. I'll succeed and then not be able to maintain it. Name the fear. Expose it. Now here's the question that changes everything. What could happen if you succeed? Not just it would be nice, not just I'd be happy. Go deep, get emotional, get real. How would your daily life transform? How would you feel about yourself? Who would you inspire? What impact would you make? What doors would open? Who would you become? Make this so vivid that it burns inside you. Now compare these two scenarios. Fear scenario might not work out perfectly, might face temporary embarrassment, might struggle initially, might need to adjust and learn. Excitement. Scenario could transform your entire life, could inspire others, could create opportunities you can't even imagine yet, could become your greatest achievement, could be the thing you're most proud of. Which one is worth focusing on? Here's the truth. Both scenarios are possible, but only one is probable if you don't try. Regret is guaranteed. At least if you try, success is possible. You're choosing between guaranteed regret and possible success. That's not a hard choice. I want you to do something radical for the next 90 days. Every single day, make one decision based on excitement instead of fear. Just one. Doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be life-changing. Just one small choice where excitement wins. Day 1. Send that email you've been overthinking. Day 2, have that conversation you've been avoiding. Day 3, research that idea you've been dismissing. Day 4, post that content you're nervous about. Day 5, reach out to that person who intimidates you. Keep going, every single day. Track it, write it down. Build evidence of your courage. Create proof that you can do this. What happens after 90 days? You've made 90 courage-based decisions. You've built serious momentum. You've transformed your relationship with fear. You've created opportunities that didn't exist before. You've become someone different. You've proven to yourself that excitement can dominate. This is how you change your life. Not someday, not eventually, in the next 90 days. Let's zoom out, way out. Beyond your immediate fears and desires, beyond next week or next year, let's talk about legacy. Not necessarily famous legacy, not necessarily historical legacy, but the impact legacy, the story legacy, the who did I become legacy. Imagine you're at the end of your life. You're looking back across all the decades, all the choices, all the moments that mattered. What story do you want to be able to tell? Do you want to tell the story of someone who played it safe, who avoided risks, who let fear make the decisions, who lived a comfortable but ultimately empty life? Or do you want to tell the story of someone who went for it, who felt the fear and chose excitement anyway, who built something meaningful, who became someone extraordinary? Your legacy is being written right now. With every decision, every choice, every moment where fear and excitement battle. And here's something powerful to consider. Your courage doesn't just affect you, it ripples. When you choose excitement over fear, you're not just changing your life. You're showing others it's possible, giving people permission to do the same. Creating a model of courage, inspiring the next generation, breaking cycles of fear, building a legacy of boldness. Think about the people watching you, your kids, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your community. What are you teaching them? Every time you let fear win, you're teaching them that fear should dominate, that dreams aren't worth pursuing, that safety is more important than significance. But every time you let excitement win, you're teaching them that courage is possible, that dreams are worth fighting for, that life is meant to be lived, not endured. Your choice doesn't just echo in your life. It reverberates through generations, through communities, through the world. The courage you demonstrate today becomes the permission someone else needs tomorrow. The risk you take today becomes the inspiration someone else follows next year. The excitement you choose today becomes the legacy that outlives you. So here we are, the moment of truth. You've heard the philosophy, you've seen the evidence, you've learned the framework, you understand the stakes. Now comes the hardest part. Actually doing it. Actually choosing excitement. Actually letting go of fear's comfortable grip. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be terrifying. Your heart will pound. Your mind will scream. Every instinct will tell you to retreat, to reconsider, to wait just a little longer. That's normal. That's expected. That's the price of admission to an extraordinary life. But here's what I want you to remember in that moment of decision. That moment when fear and excitement are battling for your soul. Remember this, the fear you feel right now, it's temporary. It lasts minutes, maybe hours, maybe days. But it passes. The regret of not trying that lasts forever. It haunts you, it grows, it becomes the defining pain of your existence. You have one life, one shot, one chance to become who you're capable of becoming, to build what you're capable of building, to impact who you're capable of impacting. Are you really going to let fear steal that from you? Are you really going to reach the end of your journey and wonder what if? Are you really going to die with your music still inside you? I don't think so. I think you're stronger than that. I think you're braver than that. I think somewhere deep inside, beneath all the fear and doubt and insecurity, there's a part of you that knows you're meant for more, that believes you can do this, that's ready to finally let excitement win. From this moment forward, you are no longer someone who lets fear dominate. You are someone who feels fear and chooses excitement. Anyway, you are someone who understands that the nervousness before a big decision isn't a warning. It's an invitation. An invitation to step into your power, to claim your potential, to become legendary. Don't let fear of failure be greater than the excitement of success. These aren't just words. This is your new operating system, your new identity, your new way of being. Every morning when you wake up, you ask yourself, what opportunity am I facing today? What is fear telling me to avoid? What is excitement calling me toward? And then with courage, with conviction, with commitment, you choose excitement. One decision at a time, one step at a time, one victory at a time. Until choosing excitement becomes as natural as breathing. Until fear becomes nothing more than a whisper you barely notice. Until you look in the mirror and see someone transformed. The old you played it safe. The old you let fear win. The old you lived a life of what-ifs and maybes and somedays. But that person is gone. That chapter is closed. That story is over. The new you. The new you is unstoppable. The new you lets excitement dominate. The new you builds empires and creates legacies and inspires generations. The new you doesn't avoid fear. The new you uses fear as fuel. And 20 years from now, when you look back on this moment, on this decision, on this transformation, you won't remember the fear. You won't remember the doubt. You won't remember the nervousness. You'll remember the courage. You'll remember the breakthrough. You'll remember the day you finally chose excitement over fear and changed everything. So what are you waiting for? That thing you know you need to do. That dream you know you need to pursue, that person you know you need to become. Stop waiting. Stop preparing. Stop overthinking. Feel the fear. Acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to protect you, and then choose excitement. Choose possibility. Choose greatness. Because you only get one life. And it's happening right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you're ready. Right now, so make it count, make it matter, make it legendary. Don't let fear of failure be greater than the excitement of success. Let excitement dominate. Let possibility win. Let courage transform you. Your extraordinary life is waiting. Go claim it.